You're born in Rocinha, 1997, the biggest favela in Rio de Janeiro. Your home is one room built on top of another home, stacked like boxers someone forgot to throw away. No running water until you're 7. No father ever. Your mother works washing clothes for the rich people in South Conrado, the neighborhood below. She takes 2 buses each way. She comes home with hands that look like old leather. You learn early that the hill belongs to some people and the asphalt belongs to others. The asphalt is where the rich live, where the police come from, where the shopping malls are. The hill is where you live. You don't cross, not because you can't, because crossing means remembering you don't belong. Your first memory is gunfire. Not war, just Tuesday. You're 3, maybe 4. Your mother pulls you onto the bed. You stay there for an hour. When you come out, nothing has changed. The same dirt, the same smell, the same sound of helicopters overhead. You learn the fear, the weather. It passes. It comes back. You live under it. When you're 8, the faction recruits your cousin Tiago. He's 14. They give him a radio and a spot on the lookout. He starts bringing home money. Not much. Enough. Your mother looks at that money and doesn't say anything. What can she say? The same money buys your shoes, your school books, the food on your table. The same money keeps your life. You watch Tiago change. The way he walks. The way people look at him. The way he's never hungry or you walk there. You want. But you do. At 11, you start carrying messages. Small stuff. Run this envelope to the bar on the corner. Tell Joao that the delivery is late. You don't know what's in the envelope. You don't ask. You learn early that questions are how people disappear. The men you work for call themselves the Comando Vermelho. Recommend. They started in the prisons 40 years ago, and now they run half the city. They have rules. No rape. No stealing from community. No killing with approbation. You think that makes them better than the police. You're not wrong. You're not right either. You're just a kid trying to survive. Your mother finds out when you're 12. She doesn't hit you. She doesn't yell. She just looks at you with something worse. Disappointment. She says she didn't wash clothes for 12 years, so you could end up on the hill with a gun. You say you don't have a gun. She says yet. She's right. At 14, you get your first weapon. A .38 revolver. Old. Hippie. The guy who gets at you, a alternate Colin hose who runs your area, says don't use it unless you have to. He says once you use it, you're different. He's right too. You don't use it for a year. You just carry. You stand on corners. You watch for the police, for the militia, for the rival faction from the favela next door. You learn to read the signs. A car that doesn't belong, a face you don't recognize, a sudden quiet. The hill talks. You learn to listen. When you're 15, the police come. Opera cow. Big operation. They roll in with opera cows that cow caviros. Big scos. The sound is like nothing else. Metal and diesel and fear. You run. Everyone runs. You hide in a crawl space under a house for 6 hours while they clear the area. You hear gunfire. You hear screaming. You hear your heart in your ears. When you come out, 3 people are dead. One of them is Carlin Hose. He took a round, tried to draw them away from the kids. You stand over his body and feel something close to pride. He died protecting community. I took they die. That's what you believe. They promote you. You're a soldier now. Full status. You get a better weapon, a better corner, a better cut of the money. You send more home. Your mother doesn't mention it anymore. She just takes the money. What else can she do? You're 17 when you kill your first man. Rival faction. A boy your age who wandered into the wrong area. He sees you. You see him. There's a moment where you both understand. Then you shoot. He falls. You run. You vomit behind a dumpster. You go home. You don't sleep. The next night, you're back under Connor. Nobody mentions it. That's how you know you're in. The years blur. 18, 19, 20. You move up. You're trusted now. You know things, routes, names, schedules. You know which cops take money and which ones don't. You know which politicians are bought and which are just scared. You know that the faction runs everything in the favela, the illegal internet, the gas canisters, the transportation vans. You know that without them, the community would stop. You also know that with them, the community never stops bleeding. You meet a girl. Her name is Camila. She lives 3 blocks down. She works at a pharmacy in the athlot. She's beautiful in a way that makes you forget where you are. You date for a year. You don't tell her what you do. She knows anyway. Everyone knows. She asked you to leave. Just once. She says she knows a guy who can get you work in construction. Legitimate. Safe. You could have a life. A real life. You say maybe. You say Sue. You don't say that leaving isn't an option. You know too much. You've done too much. The faction doesn't let people leave. They let people disappear. Camilla leaves first, moves to Sao Paulo. Her aunt has a room. She asked you to come. You say you will. You don't. 23 years old. You're a fun dance in the community center. Music loud, bodies pressed together. For a few hours, everyone forgets. Then the shooting starts. Not police, not rival faction. Just a fight that got out hand. Someone pulls a gun. Someone else pulls another. You're caught in the middle. You take a round in the leg. Flesh wound. You crawl behind a wall and wait. When it's over, you limp home. You don't go to a hospital. Hospitals ask questions. You dig the bullet out yourself with a knife and a bottle of cachaca. You're done in an hour. You pass out. You wake up the next day and go back to work. That's when you realize you're not a kid anymore. You're not even a man. You're just a machine that keeps running. 25. The militia moves in. The paramilitary groups made up of off-duty cops and ex-military. They want to push the faction out. They're worse than the police. At least the police just kill you. The militia takes your home, your business, your dignity. They charge for protection. They charge for water. They charge for existing. You fight them. Everyone fights. The favela becomes a war zone. Nightly shootouts. Bodies in the alleys. Children who learn to crawl before they learn to walk because staying low keeps you alive. Your friend Jorge dies. You grew up together. You took a round from a malicious sniper while crossing an open area. You watch it happen. You're 20 feet away. You can't reach him. You hear him calling for his mother. You hear him stop. You don't cry. You can't. Let pour you down somewhere between first Q and now. 27. The faction promotes you again. You're direct now, a manager. You're on the drug sales in your area. You have 10 soldiers under you. You make decisions that affect hundreds of families. You're good at it. You hate that you're good at it. Your mother dies. Infection. Simple thing that should have been treated at a clinic. But the clinic in the favela is underfunded, understaffed, always out of medicine. She dies in your arms in the same room where she raised in. You arm her hand and watch her go and feel nothing except a hollow where something used to be. You buried her in the cemetery on the hill. The same hill where she spent her whole life. The same hill that killed her in the end. 30 years old. You're sitting on your corner, watching the sunset over South Conrado. The rich people are on the beach below. You can see them from here. Tiny figures in expensive swimsuits. They never look up. They never see you. A kid approaches. 13 maybe. Skinny. Scared. Asks if they need someone to carry messages. You look at him. You see yourself 30 years ago. Same hunger. Same emptiness. Same belief that this is the only way. You could tell him no. You could send him away. You could break the cycle. But if you send him away, what happens? He stars? He joins the militia? He ends up in a hole somewhere? You say yes. You give him a job. Small stuff. Run this envelope. Tell Joao the delivery is late. You don't know what's in the envelope. You don't ask. He takes it. He runs. You want him to disappear into the alley. And you know you just did to him what was done to you. You just handed him the same gun. The same corner. The same life. That night, you drink alone. You think about Camila. You think about Jorge. You think about your mother. You think about all the people you've lost and all the people you've helped lose. Your phone buzzes. A name, a location, a problem. You go. You always go. That's what machines do. The problem is a dealer who's been skimming. Small amounts, but it adds a who's young, 22, new to the life. He's tied to a chair in a back room. His face is already marked. The men standing over him look bored. They ask what you want to do. You look at the kid. He's crying. He's saying he's sorry. He's saying he needed the money for his mother's medicine. He's saying anything he can think of. You've heard it all before. You said it all before. You tell them to let him go. You look at you like you're crazy. You say he'll pay it back. You say he's learned his lesson. You say if he does it again, he's yours. They don't lackey. Either's you earned. His letting go. The Ken earns. It doesn't look back. He won't thank you. He won't remember your name. They'll just keep running until he hits another wall. You walk home through the favela. The sound of the same as always. Music, arguments, children laughing, gunfire in the distance. Just another night. You pass some usual on the wall. A painting of a boy with wings. Someone's memorial. Someone's son. You don't know who. You don't stop. You get your room. The same room you grew up in. The same bed. The same cracks in wall. The same smell the dame and D-zone. Something else you can't name. You sit on the edge of the bed and look at your hands. Same hands that held your mother when she died. Same hands that pulled a trigger for the first time at 17. Same hands that let a kid go tonight. You don't know what those hands are anymore. You don't know what you are. 30 years on the same hill. 30 years watching the same sunset over the same beach for the same rich people. Never look up. 30 years of running, hiding, fighting, killing, surviving. For what? Your motherless dead. Camila's killing. Jorge is gone. Carbon hose is gone. Everyone who mattered is either dead or disappeared. You're still here, still standing, still breathing, still a machine. Your phone buzzes. Tomorrow's orders. Another day, another corner, another problem. You put the phone down. You lie back on the bed. You stare at the ceiling. Somewhere below, the city homes. Cars, music, life. You're part of it and apart from it. Always been, always will be. You close your eyes. You don't dream. You haven't dreamed in years. When you wake up, the sun is up. The hill is alive. The same sounds, the same smells, the same everything. You get up, you go to work. That's what machines do. 35 now. The faction is changing. New leadership, more corporate, less community. They talk about branding, about market share, about efficiency. They don't talk about protecting the favela. They don't talk about keeping the militia out. They don't talk about money. You're little school. You remember when the faction was the only thing between the community and the wolves. You remember Carlin Hose dying so kids could live. You remember when loyalty meant something. The new guys don't care about loyalty. They care about profit. They start cutting corners, selling to kids, pushing harder drugs, forgetting the rules. You speak up, just once, at a meeting. You say this isn't we built. You say the community trusted us. You say we had the responsibility. They look at you like you're speaking another language. After the meeting, when the new guys pulls you aside, he's younger than you, hard eyes. He says if you have a problem, you can leave. He says nobody's stopping you. You know what he means. Leaving isn't leaving. Leaving is disappearing. You stay. You don't speak up again. 38. A kid you train gets killed. 16 years old. Caught in a crossfire with the militia. You go to his funeral. His mother screams. His father doesn't move. You stand back and watch and few sentence try break through. It doesn't. Something hits a wall and stops. Just like always. You send money to the family. Anonymously. They'll never know. It doesn't matter. 40 years old. You're still on the hill. Still working. Still breathing. Still a machine. The new generation doesn't know your name. They don't know what you did, what you sacrificed, what you lost. They just see an old soldier who won't get out of the way. You don't blame them. You were the months. You'll be forgotten like everyone else. Don't know you're sitting on the same corner where Carlin Hose died. 25 years ago, the favela has changed. More buildings, more people, more violence. The same hill, just heavier. A kid walks past. 14 maybe. He's carrying a radio. Look out. New recruit. He nods at you. He nod back. He doesn't know your name. He doesn't know what you've seen. He just knows you're old and still here. And that means something even if he can't name it. You watch him disappear into the alley. You think about the kid you let go all those years ago. The skimmer. He's probably dead now. Or in prison. We're running some corner just like this one. You think about Camila. She's in Sao Paulo. Married. Kids. You looked her up once. Found her on social media. She looks happy. She looks like the life you could have had. You close the phone. You don't look again. The sun sets over Sao Conrado. The rich people are on the beach. They never look up. They never sail. You're still here. Still staying. Still breathing. Still a machine. But machines don't feel. Machines don't remember. Machines don't sit on corners at 40 years old and wonder if any of them mattered. So maybe you're not a machine. Maybe you're just a man who forgot how to be anything else. Your phone buzzes. Tomorrow's orders. Another day. Another corner. Another kid who'll never know your name. You put the phone down. You watch the last light fade. Somewhere, a mother's washing clothes for rich people. Somewhere, a kid is rang his first message. Somewhere, the hill is still standing, still waiting, still swallowing everyone who loves it. You stand up. You walk home. You pass the murals, the memorials, the ghost of everyone you've lost. You don't stop. You never stop. That's the one thing the hill taught you. Keep moving. Keep breathing. Keep being useful until you're not.